古傷だ。肩口まで続いていて、わずかに皮膚の引きつれる部分がある。
なんてひどい。とても古い傷。
Seventh time loop. And this show just keeps getting better and better and better, my friends. Like, this episode was so good. Not only was it so good by our girl Rishe being introduced into the ball, being introduced as a fiance, not only was it good, you know, her infiltrating the maids and getting all that set up, not only was it good because she learned more about our boy and, you know, scars that definitely impeded him in future battles, especially with her in the future. Not only was it good because somebody was, you know, spying on their conversation between, between Rishe and between the, I guess he's not a emperor yet, but between the prince. So not only was it great because of that, not only was it great because at the end of the episode, she invited her past trading guild or trading company or merchant company back at the end. So it's like, okay, now is when the ball gets rolling on her kind of setting up ties with all these past relationships. So the end of the episode really showed me that, like, okay, she's going to set up these ties with her past merchant relation company, right? So she's going to set up these merchant relations between her, but then between the country. And then I'm guessing that she's probably going to also set up ties with all her other past, you know, employers, like the company that showed her, or the place that showed her how to do alchemy or the medical stuff, you know, the place that did this, the place. So I'm guessing she's gonna like use the knowledge of people to kind of reestablish ties that she had in her former life, kind of making her like this megalith princess. And what's really cool too to see is as she kind of like navigates everything, is she's able to use all the knowledge, you know, and that's really where, you know, if you think about it, that's really where things come in, and what makes it interesting is she's able to use all the knowledge of her past self to kind of, you know, really make herself successful. Like, you know, when she gets introduced at the party, there was these girls who were trying to basically, you know, bully her or give her a hard time because now she's the princess, and, you know, Prince Arnold announced her as the crown princess or whatever, and obviously it's going to make a lot of ladies angry, and they came and they offered her wine, and they put, I guess, you know, crushed peppers, or like, you know, they put some spicy stuff up in it, and immediately she's able to distinguish that because of the training that she's had in the past and everything, and she was like, you know, she was able to kind of play the upper hand of like, oh, thank you, blah, blah, like, oh, this definitely has a unique taste not found anywhere else. And that ends up turning into a cool moment later that she shares with Arnold, because not only did she not let the girls get to her, but then, you know, she also like took it in stride and kind of gave them a warning, you know, of like, oh, I really look forward to, you know, more gestures like this in the future. And then, you know, not only did she kind of like put the nail in the coffin with her bulliers, but then she had a really cool moment with Arnold, because later on she was like, oh, so spicy. He's like, what's spicy? And, you know, that spurred the next moment with his shoulder and stuff. And, you know, I just love how she's seen a different side of Arnold, and she's rethinking, reimagining, reevaluating all of the preconceived notions that she had for Arnold before, because her idea of Arnold is man started World War. For what reason, she doesn't know, you know, what the reasons behind it, what was his driving force, why was he such a force to be reckoned with, you know, that's one part. And the other part is, well, she met him on the battlefield, and she saw his eyes, and he was relentless, and he killed her, and that's another part of what makes up his, that's another part of what makes up, you know, her idea of Prince Arnold as well too. So there's those two factors, and, you know, right now he's currently undoing all of them because he's acting out of turn. So she's starting to question, like, was this always who he was, or did he become what he ended up becoming? You know, so she's unsure of, you know, was the person that I met on the battlefield, was that the same person as I'm viewing here, or did something horrible, horrific happen that changed him? So a lot of questions that it gets to impose for us, the viewers, that's really awesome to see as well too. But without missing a lot of the details, like, her, establishing a school or establishing a tutorship for the maids for them to learn to read and write, for her infiltrating the maids and kind of learning the skivvy and learning the one-on-one, like the 101 for all the maids, like learning the insides and getting to pick her own maids, not only for, getting the, not ire, but getting like the interest of Arnold's secondhand man. Like, there were so many other things that happened in this episode that, I won't go into a lot of detail for, but just this episode was absolutely fantastic. This show has not disappointed me at all. Another fantastic episode. And I'm just like, I'm deep into it. And I'm like, I can't wait to see more. So let me know what you guys thought of this episode down in the comments below. As always, my friends, I'll see you on the next episode. Have a great rest of your week. Peace out.